She'll never say this out loud. She might even argue against it. But when this trigger shows up, attraction switches on before logic can stop it. You've seen it happen. A guy does almost nothing and yet she leans in. Another guy tries everything right and she pulls away. Same woman, same day, totally different reaction. This video breaks down the trigger she denies, but responds to every time, and why chasing approval is the fastest way to kill it. Why this topic makes people uncomfortable. Let's start with the part nobody likes to admit. Most attraction isn't decided by what people say they want. It's decided by how they feel in the moment. That's not manipulation, that's human nature. If attraction worked on checklists, dating would be easy. If attraction listened to logic, nobody would get stuck in toxic relationships. If attraction cared about effort, the nicest guy would always win. But that's not how it works. And the trigger we're talking about today is uncomfortable because it exposes that gap between words and wiring. Women will deny it, not because they're lying, but because this trigger happens below conscious thought. The trigger is emotional safety mixed with uncertainty. Here it is, plain and simple. The hidden trigger she can't resist is emotional safety without predictability. Not coldness, not dominance, not mystery for mystery's sake. It's the feeling that she feels safe being herself, but she can't fully predict you. And she senses you're grounded, whether she approves or not. That mix lights up attraction. Too much safety, you feel like a friend. Too much uncertainty, you feel unsafe. Too much approval seeking, you feel invisible. The sweet spot is rare, that's why it works. A quick story that explains everything. Two guys meet the same woman. Guy one listens closely, he agrees with everything. He responds fast, he checks in, he makes sure she's comfortable at all times. Guy 2 listens too, but he doesn't overreact. He's present but not pressed. He disagrees calmly when he means it. He doesn't rush to fix her emotions. He enjoys her company, but his mood doesn't depend on it. Guess who she thinks about later? Not the one who tried harder. The one who felt stable. That stability, mixed with a little unpredictability, is the trigger. Why she denies it. Here's the tricky part. If you ask her what she wants, she'll say, consistency, honesty, communication, safety, and she means it. But what she's describing is relationship needs, not attraction triggers. Attraction comes first. Needs come after. Studies in psychology show that attraction often forms before people can explain why. Researchers call this post-rationalization. We feel first, then explain later. So when she denies this trigger, it's not deception. It's biology doing its thing quietly. The real problem most men run into. Most men hear this and go one of two wrong directions. Mistake 1, they become cold and distant. Mistake 2, they try to act mysterious. Both fail. Why? Because the trigger isn't distance. It's self-contained presence. Coldness feels unsafe. Fake mystery feels try hard. Both break trust. The trigger works only when you're real, calm, and not chasing a reaction. What emotional safety actually looks like. Let's be clear, emotional safety is not being soft or passive. It's, you don't explode when things get tense. You don't beg when she pulls back. You don't perform to keep attention. You don't disappear to punish. You stay steady. That steadiness tells her nervous system, I'm okay here. And here's the part most men miss. Safety doesn't come from pleasing her. It comes from you being okay with yourself. Where uncertainty comes in and why it matters. Now let's talk about the other half, uncertainty. This isn't about playing games. It's about not being fully predictable. Predictability kills attraction because it removes emotional tension. If she knows, you'll always agree. You'll always be available. You'll always chase. You'll always bend. Her brain checks out. Uncertainty keeps curiosity alive. Not will he text me, but how does he see this? Where does he stand? What does he think? That mental engagement is attraction fuel. The balance most men miss. Think of attraction like a fire. Safety is the wood. Uncertainty is the spark. Wood without spark never lights. Spark without wood burns out fast. Most men overdo one and ignore the other. They either become a comfort blanket or become an emotional roller coaster. Neither lasts. The challenge: stop performing. Here's the hard part. To activate this trigger, you have to stop trying to activate it. You can't fake groundedness. You can't rehearse indifference. You can't force unpredictability. The moment your actions are about getting a reaction, the trigger dies. This is why so many dating tips backfire. They turn connection into a performance. What actually builds this trait over time? This trigger isn't built in a conversation. It's built in a life. Men who naturally trigger attraction tend to have routines they don't drop for attention, have opinions they don't rush to soften, have boundaries they don't explain endlessly, have calm reactions under pressure, not because they're trying to impress, but because they're centered. That's magnetic. A simple example most people miss. Imagine she cancels plans last minute. Guy A replies, "No worries at all. Totally understand, smiling face with smiling eyes, maybe tomorrow, or whenever works for you." Guy B replies, "All right, we'll reschedule another time." Same politeness, very different energy. Guy A is seeking reassurance. Guy B is steady. Guess which one keeps the trigger alive? Why this feels risky and why it works. Here, why men avoid this approach. It feels risky to not over-explain. It feels scary to not chase. It feels wrong to stay calm when you care. But attraction doesn't grow from safety alone. It grows from self-trust. When you trust yourself, others feel it. The climax, the moment she feels it. This is the moment it clicks for her. She realizes. She feels relaxed around you, but also slightly alert. She's not managing your emotions, and she can't fully predict your reactions. Her body responds before her mind does. That's the trigger. Not a line, not a move, not a trick, a state. Why chasing kills this instantly. Chasing says, "I need your reaction to feel okay." And nothing shuts down attraction faster than emotional dependency. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't collapse without validation. That difference changes everything. The quiet confidence nobody talks about. This trait often gets mislabeled as confidence. But it's not loud confidence. It's not dominance. It's not swagger. It's quiet certainty. You know who you are. You know what you want. And you're okay if someone walks away. That's rare. That's unforgettable. What this means going forward. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this. Attraction isn't about doing more. It's about being centered. When you stop chasing reactions, you become the reaction. When you stop trying to be chosen, you become noticeable. When you stop managing emotions, attraction manages itself. Final thoughts. She may deny this trigger. She may explain attraction differently. She may never put it into words. But her behavior will always tell the truth. Build emotional safety. Keep your center. Drop the performance. That's the trigger she can't resist. Watch the next video on the screen if you want to learn how to build this trait without changing your personality.